Now that we've scripted out our now that we've scripted out our now that we've scripted out our tactical point system query, we're ready to go into the behavior tree and make sure it's accessible inside of the game SDK file or level by putting the behavior tree into the behavior tree folder and then executing it in the root through a loop sequence. So now that we have the TPS here, let's go into AI and we have behavior trees. And I already have bt_toot there, and that's the behavior tree that we will call when we are inside of the engine. So I'll press Ctrl S and save it there, and now we're ready to put some stuff in. The most important thing is there's something that's needed inside of variables on all. So we'll put variable name equals execute sequence, and then we'll go ahead and close it out. We need to do one more. And inside of this, we'll make it an interruptible sequence. This is just simply required because on basic AI reset, this is called, and this will prevent a warning being shown. So the next thing that we need to do is go down to root, like said before, and we're ready to make a loop. So let's go ahead and create the loop. And we'll go ahead and we will close this loop. And inside of this, what we want to do is create a sequence. And we will close this sequence as well. So I want to first get a TPS. So in order to do that, I need to type in query TPS. And the name of it, if we remember correctly, is, interestingly enough, I can't remember it. Let's go down to the bottom. So it is tutorial random position. And this is the name that we want. Let's go ahead and do another quotation mark, and we will register this as a ref point. And let's go ahead and close this. Don't forget the comma. So in the next one, we want to state that this is the ref point. We want to move to it. If you have used tag points before, this is basically what it's doing. Is the query system is drawing a tag point, which is the reference point, on the terrain or this area that they can walk on within the nav mesh, and it's going to call a speed, a stance, and then maybe a fire mode as well. So let's go ahead and do a move to. And we want to move to that ref point that we just called. And we want to do a speed, which, like I said, this is similar to flowgraph if you've ever used it. And we will do a stance. And we will do stand. I need to capitalize that actually. I will do a fire mode, and let's just turn it off because we don't want to have any fire. A little bit safer. People won't die as fast. And let's do a wait duration before we call it again, because remember, it's just a random position. So we'll call it every 2 seconds. Let's do it that. So just to look back exactly what we did, we have our query, which we had done before inside the SDK grunt, and we've registered a ref point. So think of it as a tag point, and we've set our speed, which is walk, our stance, which is stand, and we have turned off our fire mode so we don't have any gunfighting. And it's basically going to call this sequence because it's a loop every 2 seconds. So let's go ahead and pause the video, and then we'll jump into the editor and see how this draws out.